Think it's crazy I'm the one who they labeled as controversial, and Cardi B is the role model for 12-year-old girls. There's rappers pushing Xanax at the top of the billboard, but if I mention race in a song, I'm scared I'll get killed for it. It's backwards, it's getting exponentially dumb. It's more difficult to get a job than purchase a gun. Eminem used to gay bash and murder his mom, and now he doesn't want fans if they voted for Trump. We're ashamed to be American. You should probably love it, cause you have the right to hate it and not get stoned to death in public. As children we were taught how to walk and talk, but the system wants adults to sit down and shut up. Cancel culture runs the world now, the planet went crazy. Label everything we say as homophobic or racist. If you're white, then you're privileged, guilty by association. All our childhood heroes got Me Too'd or they're rapists. They never freed the slaves. They realized that they don't need the chains. They gave us tiny screens, we think we free cause we can't see the cage. They knew that race war would be the game they need to play for people too big teams. They used the media to feed.
Welcome to the Whiskey Rebellion.
Glad to be here.
I am Richard Myers of the Myers Firm, PA. I am a lawyer, but I do a show. I do a show about conservative values against Surge's values.
There you go.
And Jason Ricardo is my co-host.
I am.
Now, when I say the Myers Firm, that is a lawyer firm, and I represent spouses in a difficult divorce, high conflict divorces. I also do employment law. I represent businesses and employees. So either way, if you feel like you're a victim of discrimination or you got someone that is working for you that is claiming that, you can call me, and you can reach me. My card is up on the screen.
Yeah,
That's your old card.
My old card, but the numbers are correct.
But still old.
And the email is correct. And I won't even do the Myers at Myers Firm slow roll. I won't do that.
Good.
Jason, who are you?
Jason Ricardo with the law firm of Ricardo and Waslick, where we battle debt collectors to protect your credit. We help people get out of small claim debt collection disputes with their credit card companies, junk debt buyers, and also those people who are battling their mortgage companies for foreclosure. Give us a call at 352-567-3173. You can email me at jason@ricardolaw.com or go see our videos at ricardolaw.com. We also have a really good YouTube channel where you can binge all our stuff. And by the way, that's a new card that mine's showing. I like that. Mine's look better than
Yeah, I feel like I didn't do enough. So you can reach me at rmyers@myers.com.
Jeez, he went for like 3 minutes. I went for 30 seconds, and you're jelly. I think that tattoo's going for you.
You are the best in your line of business, by the way.
I appreciate
I can
you.
tell by the videos you put on your website.
Well, thank you. We are.
There you go.
So what is the Whiskey Rebellion, Jason?
The Whiskey Rebellion is to show how to honor our rebellious heritage and honors the. Why do you do this to me? I wasn't even going to say anything about it.
You got to do it once a
We
month.
like whiskey and we like rebellion, so we drink.
Bring the audience back to our roots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every once in a while, you got to say it. Not every show.
All right. Well, I'm gonna
Maybe every
remind
5
me,
shows.
and I'll put together a little snippet so I can read it and not sound like a.
Ooh, we
talking
should do
dumbass.
that.
You're good at just doing the history lesson.
No, you know
No,
what?
I'm not.
We should record that, and I can put like patriotic music behind
Dun,
it.
Oh, yes.
I can do it with the voice of Sam Eagle.
Yes.
You can do.
And then we have to say
The
portions
Whiskey
of this
Rebellion.
program have been pre-recorded.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right.
Exactly. That's perfect.
But still, do it live today, Jason.
So in 1791, farmers in Western PA fought back against the U.S. government for their taxing on whiskey, and they fought back, but got squashed by the first term of George Washington. But we drink to their rebellious attitude, and we're bringing it back today, and hopefully we won't get squashed.
Yes,
they
but
did.
people need to speak up when they feel like they're being wrong.
That's right. And they felt that they
And-
were wrong, and
right.
that's right. That's a really good point. But really, what I want to do is
Really?
so
Are
in
they
their
so
honor.
It ties into some of our themes
People
today.
are supposed to speak up when they feel they've been wronged.
Yes,
Remember that.
Absolutely.
We're going to
Yes.
use that as a talking point
yes,
Okay.
for a lot of things.
yes.
Oh, sure.
Well,
okay.
Well, I'm just saying half of those people who do that are right, and the other half are wrong.
Yeah.
But they should speak up.
They should.
They should speak
Okay.
up so we can identify them.
Should they speak up at a sporting event, if you will? Or is that not the time or place?
Oh, what are we referring to?
I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying in general. If they feel they've been wrong.
Because he's not talking about
or they-
speaking up. He's talking about kneeling down.
Which is a form, which is speaking up in a way.
Is it speech? All right. Let's move on to the tasting.
So, in
section.
honor of our heritage, we are going to taste whiskey. And today, I brought a whiskey made out of corn from Old Sweet
Petersburg.
Old St. Pete, yes. And it's a small batch.
So it's a local brewery.
Local distillery, yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't.
It's a pretty little bottle.
Okay, and it's called what again?
Old St. Pete Sweet Corn Whiskey.
I'm gonna like this one.
I hope so.
St. Pete.
No, I know I'm gonna like it. That's me.
It has a corny smell.
It's convincing my brain.
We got a message from Bill O'Reilly.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
What?
Okay.
Shut up.
You didn't hear it? You want to hear it?
I
again?
heard something.
You wanna hear it
Get
again?
on with it. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
We're live.
But
Fuck
live!
it.
Go live!
Because
I love that.
That was one of my favorites.
okay,
I
so
was
we
like,
are
yo,
drinking
he's
straight whiskey, no
melting.
flavors. I didn't even check the proof on
Remember
this,
the
but
rules. A little sippy sip.
Little sippy
Sippy
sip.
sip to taste.
Get your palate adjusted to the flavor bouquet.
That's right. Let's see. What is the proof on this one? By the way? The proof. Oh, by the
80.
way, this is batch number 43 from the distillery, and this is bottle number 178. It actually has its own bottle. It's a very special. I'm going to let you read the back because you have better eyes
Yes,
than I do,
let's
and it
do it.
is. Wow.
Hey, I'm an innocent bystander.
88 proof.
Oh, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna burn.
Yeah.
44%.
A little bit of burn today.
44%
Surge.
alcohol. Here we go.
I'm with it.
Here you go, sir.
All right, so I get to read today.
Yeah, that's on the back. I know you.
Okay, we usually leave that to Surge.
I could do
There
the
you go.
narration.
But I'm going to read today.
I don't read. I
read it.
narrate.
I'll read today.
Big difference.
You handed it to me.
You
wanna do
read.
this?
I narrate. That's the difference. Yeah.
Are we ready?
A little smell. Give it a little
Wait.
Wow.
Are you
Wait,
gonna
I'm
read it?
supposed to read it first.
Well,
right?
go
Go
read
ahead,
it. You're,
read it.
you're
Come on.
yammering on.
Come on.
Actually
Old St.
participating.
Pete spirits are distilled in the independent artisan tradition, embraced throughout the city's history. The whiskey is a beautiful union
whiskey.
of copper pot distilled Florida sweet corn whiskey and an American heartland sweet corn whiskey
Heartland
aged in
sweet
oak
corn
barrels,
whiskey
resulting
aged
in
in
a
oak
perfectly
Resulting
balanced,
in a
flavorful
perfect balance.
sipping whiskey.
Actually, it's good.
Flavor, sipping
I think
whiskey.
you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna like it, Serge.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
We're live. Fuck it. We don't cuss
do you
on
want
this
me to
show.
do?
I just wanted. Did you want to look at it?
Oh man, my eyes are getting old. You see that? I had
That's
to
why I had to read
I
it.
had to do this.
I got the goggles on, so I was able
Wow.
to pull it off.
I feel kind of weird having to do that. You know what I noticed? I get cell phone eye a lot too when you stare at
yikes.
cell
See, how
phones.
old are you now, sir? Do you want to give out?
41.
Yeah, you're right at the cusp.
Right at the
You're gonna
cusp.
you're gonna need.
I already got contacts.
You're gonna need more eye contacts.
You're wearing contacts and you still can't see it. Jeez. You need reading glasses.
Actually, this is the first sip is really good.
Yeah, I was actually impressed. I have only had one little half a sip too.
Woo. Does got a little kick.
Yes, but it's smooth.
Yeah, look, this is
Yeah,
good,
It's
and this is
kicky,
local.
but smoothie.
Yeah, I like that it's local. That's what I thought you guys would like.
It
That.
burns, but not in.
But
a
it's
very,
a not uncomfortable burn.
Yes,
But you know how sometimes a bourbon can really be bitter as well.
yes. This
It
is.
doesn't have.
That's a
that
really
bitter-
good.
It's not bitter yet.
It.
I've only had one little tiny.
not a
I've
bitter
had
old
the
man
first
yet,
sip was
like
good.
you.
That's
Who's
really
here?
good. Nobody's there.
Oh.
Come on in!
Oh, the roaches
Get
are-
off my lawn!
The roaches,
Get off my lawn!
the roaches got a microphone. They're in there going, "We can't wait. We can't wait."
Let us in. We can smell that pizza.
Oh Lord! Hey, don't forget to sign the wall back there when you guys.
Oh,
before
yes,
you
I
guys
will.
leave.
Happy to.
Yeah, we got a banner that we turned around and are now using it for autographs.
Wow.
Ooh, you're
It's strong, but
it
it's not
is strong.
bad.
It's 88 proof, which is really high, but it is good.
This is the most non-tasting 88 proof.
Non-tasting?
88 proof, not
Oh, it's not
non-88
harsh.
proof testing.
Yes,
88
okay. It
proof.
doesn't feel as harsh as an 88.
Yeah, at all.
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
it's It's smooth and it's not flavored. So
Yeah,
but
it's,
you can taste. Can you taste like the corn?
Yeah.
Like it's.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't taste like an ear of corn, but it has that.
But this can really get to you
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah, you could tell
Well, it's gonna
because
sneak up on you.
It's easy. It's easy to drink, boy.
Small batch sweet corn whiskey, crafted.
I'll let you take this home.
Well, thank you. Actually, I planned on it, but yeah. Bastard. Trying to steal my. We had to give
All
you
right.
the one last night.
Time for ratings.
All right.
You can't handle the truth.
I got a bunch of
I
sound
feel like
bites.
I feel like we're on I feel like we got Mason Dixon Zoo
he's-
something. We're
He's
waiting
on a
for it.
producer on steroids right
I got one.
Killing me, Smalls.
Friday.
All right, so
Friday.
it's not among my favorite of favorites because you know I like flavors.
I know you like cinnamon and
Right. So I give this a 7.5.
okay. I think that's fair.
Okay.
All right, what is your? But on the taste, what do you think about it? Is it smooth? Is it burny? Is it what do you
Well,
like? The color, the
I think
mouth
I'm
feel.
all in
What do
the
you think?
mid-7 ranges on all those things. It's like this. It's not spectacular.
If you were
going
going to put this in a
bad.
drink, what would you do? Would you just want it straight? Would you want it with
I would
ice?
probably
Would you
have
want
it,
something
I would probably
on
have
it?
it over rock, so it's
On the
slightly
rocks.
All right,
less.
rock, big rock,
One
one giant rock.
Yes.
I love
It's
that.
got to be a
Yes.
circle
Oh, yes.
gotta be a sphere.
Oh, I love a spear.
Yep.
Yes, I do too.
because, yeah,
Because you're pretentious like that.
Exactly.
You're
It tastes better.
You're a Surgeon General.
it's
Pretentious
because square ice.
Do you know why I
It's
like a
for
sphere?
squares.
I love a sphere because there's no beginning and there's no end.
There's no end.
And so, how do you rate it?
This is probably the highest one that I've rated.
Whoa! Wait! You gave someone a 9. What was
Yeah.
the 9 you gave?
We really need
Was
to
it the
go
grants?
and take a day out to where we just go back and compile
Yes,
scores
we do.
we need.
We do.
yes.
because I don't know what my highest score
We need to
was.
chart it, like we said.
Whatever my highest score was, this beats it.
You had a
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had something you liked. I thought you put it at like 9.2.
Yeah,
it was something very high.
Well, then this would be a 9.3.
Really?
All
Yeah,
right.
this is
Wow.
really good.
Wow.
Wow! That doesn't leave a lot of room for like better.
I know.
I know that's
Wait till I bring
it
the
means you just got to
Jägermeister.
be really exceptional. You got to be, yeah, because I like that it's not harsh.
Mm-hmm.
There's not too much burn. You know, the flavor ain't too bad. It's not too strong.
Yeah, that's all great, but you just
Yeah.
gave it like an almost
Yeah.
like an A+.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it doesn't make me want to gag. You know,
I
yeah,
give,
most of
I
the
give it a
time,
high
you're
A
like,
because I'm not gagging.
I'm not gagging.
The only criticism I have of this, other than it being like clearly not a very long aged whiskey, I mean it's got pretty color to it. I don't even know that this is an observation, not a criticism. It is one dimensional in the sense that it is just corn. You're getting that corn all the way through. It tastes a lot to me. I went to a distillery in South Carolina where it was moonshine, but it was clear, not aged, and it kind of reminds me of that. And I enjoyed it. I've drank the whole thing, so it's clearly something I drink and I like. But it just seems.
So, I want to get your flavor palette. So, what
Yeah.
is it that you really look for? Like,
So my favorite is okay. Typically, I like a bourbon. And the reason why I like bourbon is because it's aged in charred oak barrels. And that creates a deep flavor that denotes flavors of caramel and vanilla without adding any flavors, okay? And the longer it's aged, the smoother it gets. So I really love a bourbon. Some bourbon, we've had a couple of bourbons on the show, and they were terrible. We did not like them. Ragged Branch comes to mind, which was absolutely terrible. And I think I was a BOGO. I got it at Publix. I brought one in. I think the other one's still on my shelf. I think it's unopened, and it's just terrible.
you're not going to regift it?
Well, Merry Christmas early.
right. I just
Coming.
spoiled it.
It was coming your way.
whoever's- I just
Jeez.
spoiled it for all the potential
When you get the
recipients.
Ragged Branch, you know you got the shit. You get the shitty gift. You get the regift. No. Okay, so but
there's people out there going, Ragged
so
Branch,
my
what's up?"
favorite. No, they're liars. They're all frauds. You're a fraud if you like it. You're a fraud. No. But my favorite sipping normal drink, not I mean I've got like all kinds of like favorite expensive stuff. But like my normal, you walk into Publix and buy it type of stuff is Papa Pilar. It's a rum aged in bourbon barrels, and we've had it on the show.
We did?
Yep. And you
We had
guys
the
did not.
rum?
You guys did not like it. I was very disappointed. I cried a little bit. I got in the car, had a little
You
tear.
weeped.
I weeped.
Weeped.
I weeped for
Deep
your
from the
souls.
soul.
I weeped for your souls. I prayed a couple of Hail Marys just for you, and that is my favorite thing. And when I sit down and drink, and I put my sphere in the glass, I put a Papa Pilar in it, and I love it. That's what I drink.
Like at 11 a.m.
Yeah. Well, sometimes 10:30. Depends on what time I get out of bed. I mean, if the baby wakes me up
you got
early,
8 children.
I mean, sometimes you just never go to sleep. So it really doesn't matter. It's 5 o'clock sometime. No.
You ever put any of your whiskeys, like a drop or two, in the formula?
No. Never. I'd never have. No. So anyway, we're going to let me rate this. So I'm going to give it an 8.2. I do like it.
Okay.
An 8.2 is what I think this is worth. It's a good sipping. I think it's great that it's local. I love local. The only thing is, and it's not an old distillery, but I'd love to see what one of these tastes like in 10 years. Because one of the things that distilleries do is they start off making clear. They make gin and vodka because they can start selling it right away, but they can't age it because you can't instantly age. So they start putting stuff in barrels and hope they make it 20 years. And then as the years go by, they pull, and then they'll have a 5-year,
Okay.
and then a 10-year, and a 20-year.
I do
so
like
I would
the,
almost
I do
bet.
like the bottling.
I love the bottle. It's a cute. Yeah, it's a pretty bottle.
Yeah,
It
that's-
you
that's-
told me what you thought it reminded you of. What was it? Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Buffalo Trace.
Yes, it does look like.
No,
a
because I
Buffalo.
didn't see the lettering at
I know,
all. I just
but
saw
it's a
the
pretty
shape of the
bottle.
bottle. Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. It'd be nice when we're on the air in 10 years, but we'll be national. We could be international. We could be intergalactic by then.
Yeah, we will be.
Okay.
I want to be
That
the
would
first
be
radio
Trump's
network
fourth
to go.
term.
But if we go intergalactic, I'm going to want the Beastie Boys on as our
Right.
as our
Yeah,
call-in
as our
music.
first show intergalactically.
Intergalactic.
That's pretty.
Well, we
lame.
won't have you as a producer because you would be like
Yeah.
living in a high rise.
I'm lining it up.
Okay.
I'm gonna get Elon on the phone after.
Oh,
and
yes.
We'll see something.
Teslas for everyone.
If not, Jeff Bezos. He's getting ready to go to space too. So.
No, I much prefer. No. Let's stick with Elon.
Yeah, let's go with
Bezos is going to burn up in the atmosphere because.
I like Elon. He's
so
a good guy.
wait.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What would be your reaction? What would be like your real? Seriously, what would be your gut reaction on the first flight, if you will, where the public, people could buy in like for $1 million? And I know it would be the wealthy people, but
Well, they just
What-
sold it for $28 million. But anyway,
right.
go ahead.
So what
yeah.
would be your reaction if it was a big failure?
Oh no, it'd be terrible.
like the
I was
first
joking,
flight?
but no,
Right.
it'd be
Right? I mean,
it'd be
right.
horrible. No, I don't like Bezos, but no, I wouldn't wish that on him or anybody on that. No,
Ooh,
that would be horrible.
you just down the rest of it?
Yeah,
have more.
Do you change your rating now? Because
No.
you're wincing.
that's the face I make anyway.
When you jam it.
Yeah.
No, I would never want that. I mean,
oh, we're doing another?
if Capernick was on it, I might be
down.
okay with it. But if it was
Wow.
shots fired, shots fired,
Ooh, no. Give me a half of that.
shots fired.
So now we know we can get the video links. So
Yeah.
Now the better question is, okay,
Thank you.
so you said if it burns up, of course not. I don't want anybody to do that.
that's why Elon's doing really
But,
well.
but my next question is, would you go?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Would
So
you?
I've
Okay.
thought about this.
Okay.
Since I can't stand the risk of even skydiving, I know ultimately I couldn't do it.
Really?
I really want to do it. I really desperately would love to do it. But I just don't want to
But you
be...
know what?
Just
He's-
be like any other American. Papa Xanax. You'll sleep
no.
through the whole flight.
He just needs his first trip to the moon,
Yeah.
and then he'll go 5,
Okay.
7, 8 more times.
That's what we'll do.
See?
We'll take you to the
Mr.
moon
Tattoo
first.
Boy.
We'll take you to the moon first, and then from there we'll go to Mars.
It may be a little bit of a different risk involved.
Maybe a little
Maybe
bit,
slightly
little bit.
different
Oh.
risk.
I would do it in a
So
heartbeat.
No,
yeah,
I wouldn't
there's
go.
because
I
no,
wouldn't.
look. First of all, my second love, in my top 3 or 4 loves, is astronomy. I mean, the whole. I mean, I watch the Science Channel and I watch how the universe is made constantly.
Because you believe in science.
Totally fascinates me, everything about it. So I know I want to desperately to do it, but I'm risk averse, as it generally speaking.
Yeah.
You're a
But
pussy. You mean there's a better word for that.
At the end of the day,
Pussy?
yeah,
No,
that's the word.
poussoir.
Is that what you're going to say?
I was going to call you a poussoir because it's much prettier. It might sound much
I
nicer.
am
And my wife hates the word
risk
pussy, so I don't
averse.
say it.
in a very unswa way. I just calculated risk averse.
Yeah.
How
I
many
am
people?
too. I wouldn't.
We would say the general population. How many would go on a space flight that's kind of new for the public?
No, right. That's a good question. I think
If
there
it was
are
50 years
people
in.
who would go. Like I would probably go once it became two things. First, common enough that it was clearly not. It wasn't a safety risk.
Right, routine and safe.
You know, like it is for going an airline, and it would have to be cost effective. Like if I was a gajillionaire, I wouldn't mind spending $1 million on a ticket.
Right,
but I'm not a gajillionaire, so I'm not even going to spend a lot of money on a
Right.
ticket. So it would have to be, and it would have to depend on what you're doing. Am I just going up in space and looking around and coming back down? No. But if I'm going to the moon and there's a resort up there and I'm going to get a massage,
Oh, come on!
We'll go to
no,
the
no,
moon.
no, no! Now you're going off the
moon
Richard
rocks.
would go
No,
if they were doing
if
tattoos
you can
on
leave the Earth's atmosphere, that wouldn't be enough.
No, that doesn't interest
No,
me.
I have to go to a planet. You fucking
I've
space
been
snob.
on-
You're
I-
a space snob.
I am a space. I'm an Earth snob.
the moon. Why just float around the Earth when you can go to
Yeah.
Mars?
Why? Ah!
Yeah.
No, I don't want to see the
You're gonna
Earth
float
from.
around-
I don't
Richard.
want to be one of the 10 people who's
Yeah.
ever seen this. I want to be one of the 3 people that's seen a planet.
Yeah. Why be floating around the Earth like a peasant?
Yeah, right.
You could be in Mars living like a king. Like you could be at Mars like
Who would want to
Wait.
escape Earth's atmosphere?
I just had we have got to segue back to a topic we started scratching the surface on last time.
the UFOs.
The UFOs. This is a great segue
Okay.
because once we get out there, okay, is anybody here like a Trek fan, Star Trek fan?
like a nerd? Star
Trek nerd? Are
No.
you a Star nerd?
I like the show.
I think we got a listener that might be.
Okay.
Ooh, who's
Well,
calling in?
Oh, I'm just saying. I think we have a
No, we
I
need someone
am-
to call in, man.
Okay.
We hardly ever get callers, and callers are so cool.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try to make this quick because while I can't explain the Whiskey Rebellion in 2 words, I can probably explain this. So, in Star Trek, there
Pass.
is the
2 words. Pass 2
concept.
words.
There's the concept of the Prime Directive, and the Prime Directive means those civilizations that have the ability for warp travel
Don't interfere with the culture.
will not and cannot interfere until that species makes that next jump. And it is more than just being able to enter space, but actually is advanced space travel, including warp drive.
So that's probably why they
That's
haven't.
how Star Trek explains why you never know the aliens, because they're the Federation of Planets
Yeah.
is very clear on this
Think
rule.
about this.
It's very
50,
smart.
It's
very
50
smart.
years ago they come up with that
It's,
shit.
it's very brilliant.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. They have an explanation for everything. So in that regard, you could Gene Roddenberry. And what was it? Mission to Mars? What was his book? What was the book?
Whatever.
didn't-
Don't get distracted. Stay on point.
So now,
Galactic
now
Federation.
going back to the idea of the Prime Directive and the impending Blue Report or whatever it's called, what's the idea of the possibility of aliens? Are the UFOs aliens, or are they advanced?
you're talking about the recent
stuff.
sightings and all that.
Yeah. Well, they're not recent sightings,
I
but yeah.
say,
Let's go.
if my the love of my life, Ginger, if you're listening,
Oh my God.
do not take this as an insult. I believe that there's almost 0 chance it's extraterrestrial. She's
You said
not that
almost
it
what?
has
Almost what?
She's
0?
not. She's not in the 100%, but she
she believes that
no,
there's
but
other
she has
intelligent
reason to
life.
believe. Now, she's
Yeah.
given me a lot of explanations why, including people who are on the inside of the Department of Defense.
Yeah.
So without going into details.
You think there's 0? You're close to 0%.
I'm close to, I would say between 0 and 3%.
Okay.
I don't believe
I just wanted to
I'm
understand
believing
what you were
it's
saying.
it's
That's all.
because I strongly believe in the principle, we talked about this before, about Occam's
razor, yeah.
where if you have a phenomenon and there's a simple explanation and a more complex explanation, the simple one almost always, almost invariably, like it would be very, very rare, it wasn't true between those two choices. Okay, so if there's a technology that's been developed secretly by a foreign government or by our own government, it's much more likely than I'm saying that some extraterrestrials who are going through wormholes and flying thousands of light years to us and just no. I watched your video.
Like
that you
we're a
showed.
zoo, in a way. They come and visit. Hey.
No, I don't think that at all. That's my point. Is that's it's
You seem
between the
that's- you-
choice
that's
of a
unlikely.
government scientific, currently to the common person, unexplainable technology, and I'll include the common person to people who are even in the military who haven't been on the inside of this technology.
Right.
Right? They're just ordinary people having careers. Other than that, I would think that would be so unlikely it's extraterrestrial.
Okay.
Right? I mean, it would. So I'm not saying it's eliminated, because I would like to believe. I would.
Yeah.
I have a belief. I would be. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Heck yeah.
It'd be
I would
interesting.
be-
No,
it
it
would-
wouldn't be awesome, but it'd be interesting.
Why wouldn't it be awesome?
I'd be scared out of my fucking mind.
Why? Why would you be scared?
'Cause
What if you go to another planet? Should they be scared of you?
No, because he's Jason.
I'm going to come down and say, I come in peace.
Exactly.
No, I don't know.
But would you go to a new planet and immediately be like, "Oh, let's kill everybody"? Most of the time, it's not.
No, I don't
That's
think
not
they're-
what he's saying. He's
Okay,
saying like,
I didn't
like,
say that.
If
Yeah,
someone's
okay.
that far
So,
ahead,
I don't
you have no
think-
idea what they're capable
They wouldn't.
of.
Yeah, but
I'd be scared of them not because I would think they're going to try to kill us, because they wouldn't want to kill us. They'd want to use us.
what do you think they would use us for?
Making pizza. I mean, we're the best pizza makers in the universe.
That would be
so,
funny,
you know.
right?
Like, well, you guys cook
Best
really.
pizza in the
love your
universe.
food.
Can I go back? I just had a flashback to you, Serge. When I was starting out on Star's show, you had a movie. You had a movie idea.
Yeah,
It's not related to this.
yeah.
But about like coming up with like interesting ideas and just doing this movie. Is that still in your head? By
Yeah,
the way.
absolutely.
Okay. Segue.
Segue,
Unnecessary
segue abandoned.
I just.
So
but
now,
I thought of it.
Surge, your concept and your ideas on that.
I believe there is intelligent life. I don't think we're the only thing in this complete universe. I mean, you got to see how big just our solar
Well,
system is.
this is the thing. I totally agree with you. I think if you base it on just mathematical principles,
Yeah.
and the size of the universe, of course, there has to be.
I think what it
There
is,
has to be.
if anything,
But the science of getting them to this planet
yeah,
from wherever they are, it could be millions of light years. I mean, that's how big the universe is.
yeah,
How are they getting here?
it could be interdimensional portals.
Well, that's where the leap is. So that's why I go,
Yeah.
okay, Occam's
Yeah, but there's
razor.
also known ley lines on the planet that have certain energetical principles. Like if
No,
you,
I don't dispute that either. I'm still saying about likelihoods versus is it a governmental program?
I don't think-
versus that.
I don't think
and I
we're
go, okay, my,
that
my
advanced.
mind
I don't
goes
think we're that advanced
to have what they're observing.
to be able to see some of the stuff.
But there
that
are
I've
so many
seen.
things that have occurred in leaps.
Yeah,
No one thought the atomic bomb was possible,
yeah,
remotely possible, until it was developed.
yeah,
And it was developed when?
Just recently.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, in the
yesterday.
last century, right? So
Yeah.
it's
Not
like,
long.
think about societies that have been found. So I understand that the technology could be there.
So,
But
so
I
is
just
that
don't believe it.
is that
I
the-
think
is that
the technology can be there. We just don't have it yet.
Okay.
Okay.
But I do believe that there are definitely UFOs and aliens and all that stuff. I've seen too
So
many
why don't
videos.
we have better? After all, that's the thing. After like
After what? All of
so
the
many, like 100 years of people observing this crap in the sky.
Yeah.
Why don't we have anything more definitive? Now, this is the thing. Ginger, I love you. She said, "Listen, the technologies that we have today
are because of.
are because of
So,
extraterrestrial."
Yeah.
so
That's what you believe too, right?
Yeah.
all right. So you had your opportunity. You've had your opportunity. But here's my thought on both of these things. Two comments. I'm fully on the side of Occam's razor on this, that it's unlikely. My reasons for thinking it's unlikely differ just a little bit. I mean, the whole question of, is the technology possible? Yes. I believe technology is infinitely possible. If we were to transport ourselves into 1,000 years into our own future, we would see things that we couldn't even conceive of.
Absolutely.
I believe that. I don't. It isn't a question of whether or not the technology is possible or not possible. Where I kind of boil down on this with regard to the likelihood of that these particular experiences that have been in the news lately, although they've been happening for years, is not likely extraterrestrial, but rather probably advanced human technology, is this. There are so many eyes on space, and not just not even just controlled by the government. There are millions of civilians who have their eyes on the skies every night. There are plenty of education-based, research-based, science-based, space-based, military-based on the eyes of the world. And I know, we talk about, how you didn't even know that comet was coming, and poof, here it was. But I just think that at some point in time, we would see whatever this was somewhere before it was over a Navy ship in the Pacific, right? Like, it would almost seem like it would have created alerts. Seems more likely that it would have created alerts like an ICBM coming in from another country. Like there'd be too many risks there. And if, as we were talking about the Prime Directive, if they did follow if the extraterrestrials did in fact follow a Prime Directive, they wouldn't risk that because it would be too easy. I mean, we literally have videos of all of these craft. So
yeah, well, who's to say they haven't already risked it?
No, I don't know. Again, I'm not suggesting it's an impossibility. I'm not. But I want to come back to one. I'm just saying that if I had to come down on Jason, here's a gun. Put it the bullet. There's one bullet. Put it in your head. What's it going to do? I'm going to say it's unlikely right now that it's extraterrestrials. I'm not saying it is impossible. But I want to say one more thing. That's one thing. The next thing, the segue that really just blows my mind, which is why I kind of go back to Serge's idea on this, is you were like, the universe is millions of light years. Bullshit. It's bigger than that. It's infinite light years. That's the part that blows my mind.
Well,
okay. If it isn't infinite, then whose fish tank are we in?
Because there are alternate theories about the size of the universe. Right. I'm just saying. So I just brought a huge number, enough to make it look like it's impossible.
But that's my.
I was being
theoretical.
But
when you start, but if there is, I mean, does that not? Isn't that almost a question of, It's almost a question of God Himself, right? If the universe is infinite, where does it end? It doesn't end. What do you mean? That's a concept we cannot.
All right, so
we cannot.
Okay, wait.
Right.
If you believe in the Big Bang, in the Big Bang theory, then there is a known but not definable, if you know what I mean, end of the universe, because it's an explosion.
It's expanding.
Right. No, but actually we find out that there's a dark force involved that's actually
Satan.
It's
It's like
expanding,
dark matter.
but it's accelerating.
Gigi's pissed, by the way. You just made her really mad.
No, I know her tone.
Oh, that's not her tone. She's got a nicer tone than that. It was Lucifer.
All right, but because I watch a lot of the Science Channel, whatever, Discovery, whatever.
You've already told us that.
Right. There is a force. We measure when you have anything that explodes. Say it's a bomb, TNT, whatever. You can measure the explosive force and the projectile rate, and know that once it's exploded, it slows down. Like whatever is being ejected gets multiple forces, gravitation. You get resistance to air. And it'll slow down.
Do you have a point?
Yeah. Yes.
I'd like you to read.
So the universe went the Big Bang. Shut up. I'm making the point,
He's got
you
this.
fucking bastard.
You got this.
You bastard.
You weren't even addressing my concern, but
this.
go
No,
ahead.
but
We're in
wait,
it.
Wrap it up.
You
we
raised
let
the
him have his
point
TED
about
talk?
the infinite
The infinite
element of the universe.
That's right. It's infinite.
And I'm saying there was an interesting sidebar to what that statement is. And
Right.
I'm making
But
the
we're
point
getting
if you would
bored,
shut the
so-
fuck up.
He said,
Explain
okay,
it.
the explosion is supposed to slow down.
Okay,
Go
right. In every explosion that we know,
Yeah.
the projectiles from the explosion slow down due to
Yep.
gravity,
Yep.
whatever the forces are acting on them, right? In the Big Bang, they're accelerating.
Yeah.
As time goes on, the projectiles are going faster and faster through time.
Okay.
So,
So there's a theory called the dark force.
Are we approaching that?
What's
So we're
the
approaching your
dark force?
explanation faster?
No,
what's the dark force? Go ahead.
It's Lucifer.
we don't know it yet, and we call it the dark force because we can't define it yet. But the point is that there's some force out
So,
there that explains why things are
If
accelerating.
it's accelerating,
But if
doesn't
there's
that
a
mean
force out
that
there-
the explosion is just beginning?
No, at the moment an explosion happens, everything that explodes from there
Yeah.
immediately is
Exactly.
forces exert on it. So they never go faster than the initial ejection rate.
Yeah.
Okay. But when it comes to the universe, it's the opposite,
Yeah.
which is an amazing thing because when people are theorizing there are other universes
Absolutely.
exerting forces on this universe that makes it expand faster. So what if we're in a multiple
Multiverse?
universe multiverse? That stuff fucking
I like that.
yeah, right.
Sounds like a Marvel
Like
movie.
pass the bong shit,
Yeah.
right there, right. It's unbelievable.
What if?
It's no,
Hear me out.
I don't need more alcohol, but that fascinates me.
I love it. Yeah, I love all
Okay,
that
but,
stuff.
but I appreciate all of
No,
that.
I went on a science digression.
And I don't
versus
mind, 'cause
UFOs,
I
but-
find it very interesting, and it
Okay.
doesn't even bother me that you went away from the UFOs. But the point I was raising was that we are, no matter where we are, no matter what is going on, whether it's a Big Bang explosion and that's accelerating or not, it's still infinite because it can't end. Nothing can end. It can't end.
All right, so similar to that concept, I was going to argue against it, but similar to that
Okay,
concept.
okay. If it ends
similar
where?
to- we don't know where the end is, and that's why we can't comprehend and have an
Okay,
end
great.
discussion.
It ends.
to it.
Let's. Oh, no. We can't comprehend where.
Right.
Because I'm not talking about distance. It could be 2 miles. It could be a gazillion miles. It could be
Right.
like 530,000 gajillion miles. I don't know. I don't really care. No matter where there is, if it ends, that's fine. The question I have after that is, what's beyond it? That's
No
my
one-
question.
Right, that's
No,
incomprehensible.
I'm not asking you. Nobody knows. Of course, nobody knows.
No, I
That's
know.
something. Theorize.
No, that's
That
I'm-
how is it possible? You're not understanding my question, though. I don't think you are. If it ends, you're going to answer my question, motherfucker. If it ends, what's on the other side?
The other side of it.
All right, the flip side of that question, because it's a theoretical question, right?
Yes, it's very theoretical. No,
Okay.
actually, it's a real.
So
it's
what
it's a real
existed
question.
before existence?
Huh?
What existed before existence? We all start off with the Big Bang. What
Nothing.
existed before the Big Bang?
Nothingness.
Well, we know?
No, I don't
or-
believe that. By the way, I don't.
All right, so what we believe as physicists and as what human knowledge will allow us to understand right now, that matter can't be created from nothing,
completely understand that.
right?
Sure.
So there has to be a beginning at some point. What is that?
What do you mean? I don't know.
No,
what you're
that's where
asking.
people have they go from science to faith,
Yeah,
No,
that's
creation. But I mean,
right? Like we don't have to explain it. There's a larger force.
what- because
You
we're
can
just in
call
a
it-
simulation, man.
I truly okay.
We're like in
so
Sims.
So before the Big Bang, what was there? What was in the universe before there was something that could Big Bang?
well, let's go back to Genesis 1. It'll tell us.
That's what I'm saying. At some point, you get into the faith aspect of it, which is it's
This is where
intricately
science
intertwined,
meets faith.
where
What-
science and
that's the-
religion actually are intertwined.
So the question I'm asking is like, do I expect you to tell me what's on the other side at the end of the universe? No. the question I have, it's what I'm posing is actually a question of, for lack of a better word, there's a lack of an answer. There is no answer. And we can say, well, we don't know. That's not what I'm asking you. Then theorize. What could it possibly be? See, I theorize, personally, there is no end. But when you say that, I think you want to break your brain, because how is that possible?
Because that's I did it from the reverse side. You said there is no end, and I'm saying where's the beginning? There's no end or beginning.
Exactly. We just figured it out.
Right?
Okay, I accept
But
it.
how can something always exist? We believe in beginnings and endings, right? Everything that we know in our existence has a beginning and an end.
Exactly.
Even matter, even something like this table, is going to disintegrate someday.
Exactly.
Even, there are elements that have half-lives that last thousands and thousands of years, or it's going to end. Like, you have a piece of matter, it's going to end up disintegrating to a point where it's inascertainable. Is that such a word? But we understand beginnings and endings. What if there's never been a beginning and never an ending?
We just been going
Right.
this whole time. Yep.
That stuff just fucking drills me. I mean,
Okay,
I drill down on that, and it amazes me.
But
And
see where I don't want to turn this into a conversation of faith, because I don't think it's fair. Nor is it the purpose of the show. But did we just? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I went away. But does it not beg the question? Because, and I'm just going to ask it in this way, as a person of faith, to those who may not believe in a higher force. If it's impossible for God to exist, then how is it impossible for the universe to have no end? My bigger point is this. I'm not saying it's proof of God. What I'm saying is, if it is impossible that God can be all-knowing, ever-present, for all time, at all time, forever, and ever time in the future, infinity, right? If God is infinity, and you say that's impossible, then I say again, where are we?
All right, so it's a fascinating question. I love this discussion, this thread. Okay, all right. So I've told lots of people throughout my life that I'm not religious, but I believe in God.
Okay, fair enough.
Same way.
Okay.
Okay, good.
So, like, how do you explain God then in your terms? And wait, no, I'm not asking you. I'll ask you.
He's
going
to answer his question still,
and then I'll ask you.
But then we'll have Serge's answer. And Serge, I'm looking forward to it. I'll let you answer. I will filibuster you.
I can't explain existence without a God. So I believe God is in the most basic sense. I always use this word, macro. He created every laws of physics, every element, and just set it into motion with whatever the universe is. And now he's just an observer.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
He's not making miracles. Every now and then, throughout the history of time, something that is beyond expectation, and you would expect this if you were to draw a curve of what can happen in life. Mm-hmm. They're going to be outliers. Mm-hmm. So over millions of years or thousands of years, they're going to be something that people can't comprehend. Like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, that one time that water turned into wine. I know.
If that happened.
I can't wait.
If that actually happened.
I hope. I'm teasing.
Right.
You don't
you know
have to
what I mean.
attack me. I'm just joking.
Okay. But, but my point
attacked.
is that with the basic knowledge that humans have, that when we can't comprehend something,
I know.
We
call it a
ascribe
miracle.
Right,
we ascribe
right,
it to the greater being.
Right.
Sure.
And it's usually just an outlier event of some nature.
I'm not agreeing with you. I'm just observing what you're saying, and I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
I don't
But I don't
dismiss you.
I can't
I see
dispute the existence of God. I just don't believe God answers prayers or God's like listening to the plight of humanity. I mean, God is so huge.
That's GG.
No, that's ESPN.
I know. Okay.
That's
ain't the Lightning
so
game today?
massively huge to create everything that exists in the universe that to think that man is a concern of God on a daily basis, like you can pray to Him, or like, I just don't believe it.
Okay.
I believe God is so much well beyond our human brains to comprehend how big He is.
Okay.
To create something from nothing.
So he's more like an Amazon server, and we're just too small for him to pay attention to our emails.
I couldn't have said it better, Jason, actually.
That is actually
What the fuck?
God is an Amazon server.
That's like an Amazon
No,
server.
but I do understand what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So when people say, why aren't you religious? I say I don't need to be, even though I believe in God. Because
Okay,
it's not,
I really want. I do want
right.
Serge to have a moment in here. So,
Go ahead.
I just want to ask you one question because I'm afraid if I don't ask you right now.
Okay.
So, not talking about afterlife, miracles, all of that. God doesn't answer prayers. Is the existence of God give us reason to be good, moral, or not?
Okay, so
I mean, that's a small question. I know that. You can answer that in 30 seconds.
based on my theory, no.
Okay. All right. So, Serge, he's going to hell. So far, you're not. Let's go, Serge. Let's go. Let's find out.
I believe there's a God. I just don't think it's attached to one particular religion. I think religion distorts what God is. I think God is just the universal energy that doesn't start, doesn't finish, and we're all just in this energetical flow, and you live how you want to live. And I also feel like you get bonus points for being a good person.
Through God?
No, just in general. I think we come back a certain amount of times, and each time you come back, you level up. We've probably all been like dogs before.
So you're saying,
Right,
like,
so I don't-
when I come back, this will be like 1,000-day aged bourbon that's going to be really good.
Could be.
Okay.
Or you could come back as a tree.
Ooh.
Or you could come back as a fly or
Ooh.
a gator. You never know. You know what I'm saying?
Ick.
I think energy just takes different form. That's it.
All right,
Okay.
so it's
Well,
interesting
hold on.
because
So, you have a question.
just quickly,
Yeah,
very
go-
quickly.
no, that's fine.
Interesting because we know that all matter scientifically comes from supernovas. Believe it or not, your cells, all elements, I should say, every single element comes from bursting stars. So we're actually
Star children.
we're star children. Okay. That itself freaks me out when I think about it because we're all so interconnected into a larger force. I don't know what that is. I can't define it. No one will ever be able to define it for me. How did that ever happen where supernovas didn't come from anywhere? They had to come from creation somehow. Yet we're all products of this creation. Mm-hmm. So what created the creation, right? It just boggles my mind.
Yep.
So that's where I come down that there's a super force.
Okay, so
I'll call him or her or whatever we want to be politically correct about, but that's a force I will call God.
okay.
Okay.
So I appreciate what you're saying. Essentially, what you're saying is there's God. He puts it all in motion, and now he's hands off, let it go, and certainly free will. And it sounds like you're
Right.
pretty much on the same plane with that, sir.
Yeah.
I don't think that's insane. Okay. I think it's very. I
Well,
think
thank you.
You're welcome. No, I'm not. I'm not here
We're
to
not
say.
insane.
Sweet. We're not insane.
Look, I may not agree with you, but I don't think it's insane. I have a couple of minor issues that come to mind. And I'm not even just saying. I'm not saying like, oh, that's because my faith and my catechism at page 2 of the 3.
No,
that's
that's your Catholic guilt, though.
I have a lot of that, but what I find interesting is, and again, I don't think you're insane for thinking it, but when you say God creates us and just lets it go,
Yeah.
see, it almost begs the question of, so you believe in a God that just allows energy to evolve on its own without any interference,
Or tweaking.
nor
Right.
nor love for it.
Yes.
Okay.
There's
Because,
an-
because
I
and
believe
the reason why
there-
the reason why I believe that is
And he could. That's not very fair. I guess he could love
no,
it
but
from
I
a
understand
distance,
where you're
and-
coming
but he's
from. 'Cause I've
allowing
had
full
this
free
discussion-
will. Okay.
I've had this discussion with a lot of people over
sure.
time, right?
Not shocking you with anything.
No, right. So I remember the best way to explain this is a moment in time with me where I realized I have to kind of think this through, like my belief system. I remember sitting in my apartment in Tampa, 1985-ish, or 86, and a news story came on where there was a volcano eruption in Colombia, South America. It killed like 60,000 people on a mountainside, like a eruption, a mudslide, and there were several dozens of people, but not many that survived, that were hospitalized based on their, obviously they were injured in the whole thing. And some man was interviewed at the hospital, and he says, my wife and my 4 children died, and blah, blah, blah. But all I can do is thank God for preserving my life. I have a purpose.
Okay.
And I said, okay. My mind went into hundreds of babies died, but God saved you. Now, I know when it comes to faith, you have to say, there's a reason for that. There's a higher purpose. God has a plan or a reason for all that, for that to happen. But I can't. I will never. I guess my brain and my soul says I can't get there.
Okay.
I can't get there where
So-
there's that shit happening, where suddenly innocent children are smote, but some bricklayer who's
but
45
doesn't-
years old gets to live.
But doesn't that theory that you have, or at least the ignition of that thought, turn more to a God is impossible?
No, I just think there's no God there. God is something that created all the rules of the universe, and that was part of what happened in the universe. God's not sitting there and saying, I got to save people or help people, or I'm going to reward good or bad. God is different to me. God is a creator, and I'll create the circumstances for you to maximize your environment, but I'm not jumping in and helping you. I created it. Now you make the best of it.
Okay. So essentially, a God that just pushes it in motion, starts it in motion, and anything that happens after that is just based upon the inertia of that initial beginning.
Right.
Everything that
I'm the
flows
same.
afterward,
I'm on that same.
everything that flows after that is inertia.
I wouldn't say inertia. I said that, because he has also created the ability of people to make decisions. It's not like inevitable.
He's given everybody free
right,
will.
right. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, I understand that whatever God's created, whatever's result.
But do you realize, if I may, I don't mean to challenge you, but I find your viewpoint rational. Okay, I think your interpretation of what he said and the way you analyzed it as rational. It is very rational. But what I do find odd, if I may be so bold, is that you have allowed that man's interpretation of what God is to influence what you believe
Who's that man?
God is. The man who lived on the side of the mountain and his children all died. And you were like, he thanked God, and it was the trigger for you to say, what?
It wasn't triggering me to change my mind. It was a trigger for me to think things through.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
And I'm like, okay,
All right.
so what do I
you
really
say
understand?
tomato, I say tomato. But
No, but before that, I wasn't religious at all either.
It's a joke, but you gotta
No,
laugh.
but
Sometimes,
I want you to understand something.
But you
It
have to
wasn't
pause
like
every
I
once in a
turned
while and
from
laugh.
faith to some other view. It was, what can I make of what I believe is happening?
Mm-hmm.
And it's so interesting because you get into the minutia of, I'm just a man.
a cog.
Right. I'm just.
Yep.
I could
One
be.
piece.
I'm one infinitesimally small part of creation, like so small you can't even measure it. and I'm making a decision about what God is.
Can I just ask?
Right, so
can
I get
ask,
that aspect.
Can I add to that?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
I do have something I want to add.
I want to sum it
We
up
need
this
more.
way, how I see it. And this is kind of way to dumb it down a little bit, but I thought of this right now. And to me, God is like, let's say, for instance, Google Maps. All right? And what God says is, I created this entire Google Maps platform. But listen, you know where you want to go, and I want to give you the best way to get there. And I'm going to tell you how, because it's got the navigation. You hear the voice. You can listen to the navigation, but you don't have to follow it.
Free will.
A lot of people don't listen to the navigation. You're going to get to where you're going to get to, but if you don't take the path that voice is telling you to, you could end up going this way and getting in a car accident. You could end up going. That's why when you just go by what you hear, most of the time everything happens the way it's supposed to. Well, all the time. Everything always happens the way it's supposed to, but it happens a lot better when you're listening to the good voice.
I believe that there's nothing irrational about anything what you said. So I'm not trying to attack you for having a different opinion or a different belief. But where I go with this is I think you could be evil. Free will, but you were talking about the roadmap that you get
You
off
as in
on.
people.
Individual, not you personally,
Yeah.
either of you. Just you as an individual, the royal you. No, yeah, so I believe we would live in complete chaos if we did not live by some sort of guidance. But I want to just one thing I want to just challenge you on this one thought. Because I find it hard to believe, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but I would find it hard to believe as a dad that I could be a creator of life and be so nonchalant about what happens to my creation. And I know you as a dad probably would agree that you don't look at your children in the manner in which you say God or that existence looks upon us. And I'm not saying you're wrong, and I'm not saying it's irrational, but I say when I have to find where's that hook, right? Have I had things in my life happen to me think, oh, God, you are the, right? Is there a way to do that? Yeah, there's an easy way to back into you can go back into God is not good. You can back into the God does not care. I prefer to look at what the concept of God is, the way I'm internalizing it, of course, how I would look upon my own children. They are my creation, and it crushes me with the thought of their demise, the thought of their injury, the thought of bad things happening to them. And I'm not, again, maybe there is no rational correlation between what Jason thinks and what God thinks, but I do think that in general, this is a blanket thought, in general, if God did create life, he would love that life in a way that he gives them free will and he wants the best for them. And if I may just and even all parents who love their children and give them free will, it does not stop bad things from happening to them.
Okay.
You can love your daughter and they can still die of SIDS. You can love, you know what I'm saying? So,
Well,
I'll stop with that.
I want to interject here.
Sure,
because,
please. Yeah.
Because God didn't create life.
I will not nod to that, but I hear
know
you.
God created
I see you.
all the laws of biophysics and chemistry and everything that ended up in life. But God didn't say, I want to create man. That's where I'm coming down.
So we are now,
God didn't say, I have a plan for man. God created all the laws of
physics.
Like the physics, biochemistry, whatever it is.
Okay.
All the laws of science.
Okay.
Every single immutable law of, right? Did it from the beginning. And may have understood this could end up being something. Right? But he didn't do anything, or she didn't do anything
Seriously,
Right.
You
No,
you
I mean
honestly do not believe you don't believe in the
the
God, and yet you're worried about the gender.
The cisgender of
but you got to be worried about a God you don't believe in. I mean,
the
that's
cisgender
insane.
they created.
They created. There you go. Way better.
Okay, but my point is, no, I don't because you're trying to equate like some love of their creation.
Sure.
Okay, but he just created science.
Okay.
If I can look at it that way.
Again, I say to you,
Right, so-
I understand your
Right.
rational look on that. I'm not saying what you're saying is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It clearly is, and it's more like Lucky Charms. But but you go back to your own. Go back to where I don't know what faith you were raised in, Serge, but based upon your name, I have to imagine you're most likely Christian. I was raised Catholic. You were raised Jewish. When you go back to the beginnings, to some degree, we talk about the book being written by God or through that written by man through the will of God, right? That's just basic concept, right? God didn't actually physically write it. It's theoretically written by man through the will. And I think the conversation we're having is the same conversation that was had thousands of years ago by those people. Because they needed to, I'm going to use a word that makes it seem like I don't believe what I'm about to say, but they needed to justify, explain that love. And that's how you get to the Adam and the Eve, and you get to the Garden of Paradise.
Hang on.
Okay.
But if you go back to what I'm thinking of, which is the universe and versus mankind. Mankind is what percentage of God's, if you believe in my version of God, what percentage of God's creation?
Then why aren't all these aliens
It's
coming
like-
down
it's
and
not
killing us?
even-
Why aren't these aliens
Why
taking
would
us
they
and taking
kill
over our
us?
Why not? There's no God.
Yeah,
They might as
that
well
has
just come
nothing to do
down,
with
kick us
God.
off the planet, and start bathing and start going to the beach in Sarasota
you
because it's
think about-
gorgeous.
You know
The
why they're not
size-
killing us? Because they don't believe in God. They're like, let's all be good to each other. Let's get off this rock. There's no, you know what, the aliens? There's no Democrats or Republicans. They all got together and said,
there's
you know
nobody
what?
has different
We
opinions.
live on this planet. Let's get off this planet together. Let's live in peace. There's no hoarding of wealth
What if
on
it's
this
some
planet.
mega maniacal country in some
Yeah,
faraway
no, we're
planet
just
that
a
said,
planet that's got it wrong. We're like, hey, let's fight each other down
All right,
here
no,
instead
but I
of
think
worrying
we're
about
more
each
like the
other.
subject because we're running low on time.
I think we're more
We
like
just-
the chickens that we keep in our pens, and we make eggs and we raise chickens because they don't give a shit what the chickens
we
do
need to
because
do.
they got to eat.
We need to
Oh,
do.
the guilty or not guilty?
Oh, yay! Let's
We got a
do it.
video.
We got video.
You guys want to hear it?
Yeah.
I mean, not hear it. You guys want to see it? All right.
Our audience went away.
Richard, go ahead and talk about what this is.
All right. So my understanding is that there's a flight on Spirit Airlines. I don't know from where to where.
Spirit. Oh.
Okay. Where Spirit had recently, it's still, I don't know what its rule is today based on vaccinations, whatever, but it was fairly recently. Their rule was that every passenger 2 years or older must be masked.
And this is what happened.
Okay, and there was a customer sitting who had not the mask, but the plastic guard over his face,
Oh, the shield.
the shield.
Okay.
Okay, and he was asked to put on a mask, and he said, "I'm already protecting and protected," and this
This is what
happened.
happened.
All right. Let's watch it out.
Also tonight, new video of a fight aboard a Valley flight.
Shout out to ABC
An
15.
Allegiant passenger refusing to wear his mask, leading
Turn it
to
up.
this scuffle.
It is up.
That passenger eventually escorted off the plane.
And tonight, ABC 15's Nicole Grigg walking us through what happened and the response from the airline.
It was was a 30-second up-close encounter with a man refusing to wear a full face mask on an Allegiant flight from Mesa Gateway to Utah.
All right, everyone's asking me what happened on the plane.
And now the woman who took the video explaining what you don't see. Riley Lansford says a flight attendant came to ask the guy sitting behind her to put a mask on.
He has a face shield on, and so he didn't want to wear an additional mask. And so he's like, I don't have to wear one. Like, he was not having it.
The man, now identified by Mesa police as 52-year-old Rio James Honecker.
And he's just being really rude and condescending. And he's like, oh, you want to play these games? Like all this stuff.
According to Allegiant's policy, face shields may be worn in addition to a face covering, but not as an alternative.
They made it clear. 100%.
Eventually, a second passenger sitting next to her turns around and starts arguing with Honecker before it turns violent.
Then I just hear and see one swing of an arm. At first, he's kind of choking or, has a hold of the guy's neck. And then you see him pulling his hair and just hitting him in the back.
The fight was broken up, and Lansford says it was a very up-close and personal first-hand account.
It kind of sucked. The flight attendants were like, oh, you get a glimpse into what we deal with.
Allegiant sending a statement saying that all customers must wear a face mask. Meantime, Mesa police saying an off-duty officer...
All right, so, whoa. From what perspective are we taking guilty or not guilty? From the
I think we get
crew?
to choose. I think we each get to choose.
Guilty of what?
No, we got to choose from the viewpoint.
Yeah.
From the flight crew, from the airlines view, from what they did.
How about the societal view?
Well, let's do both.
All right.
Airline made a choice, guilty or not guilty.
The airline had rules.
Yep.
I'm not answering anymore.
That's it.
No, you got to answer guilty or not.
They had
guilty.
rules. That's bullshit rules.
So
don't go on the flight if you're not willing to wear it. But the rules are bullshit.
No, but
what is
still
the
have to come up with
airline
guilty or not guilty? This is
of
the whole
what, though?
point. We got to make decisions here.
I do believe that, and we as a society are guilty.
What are you talking
okay,
about? Elaborate.
That's a good.
Elaborate what you mean about the airline being guilty or not guilty.
All right. Context. Policies are in place.
Yep.
Granted. It takes reasonable implementation to effectively run a business of policy. Like, you can have a policy if you just uniformly address it, you're going to have some situations where you didn't anticipate they're going to fuck everything up. So a guy comes onto the plane, and the purpose of a mask is not to spread disease, and he's got a device on that's not spreading disease. And yet, we have a policy, you have to still wear a mask. There is no individual thought process by the airline or its employees to say, let's make an exception, he's doing a reasonable thing. It is just rote policy and results in this guy getting assaulted and thrown off a plane. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't doing anything. He wasn't coming onto the plane like, fuck y'all, I'm going to infect y'all.
Yeah, so
right.
So
it was
kind
none
of
of
taking
that.
what you're saying to the next step. So I'm not sure that the
I say
flight
guilty.
attendant who's following the rules violates any. But and I'm not a fan, by the way. But all those passengers who are taking their pot shots and getting involved and grabbing and pulling hair and doing all those other things, I truly believe they're psychotic, and that is where society.
Well, yeah, that's where we are as a society. Yes, but I'm talking about for a flight attendant or any representative of the airline making it an issue to get people riled up next to this, this patron, and getting him forced out is ridiculous because he was already trying to do what was right,
and he may have misunderstood the rule by reading it wrong.
But that's where I come in. It doesn't matter of him interpreting the rule. The person or the persons or the company implementing the rule need to understand in certain circumstances we should be reasonable and flexible to understand what the purpose of the rule is, and not just that there's a rule.
Yeah. I mean,
that's the part that bothers me. It's like, oh, there's a rule.
But
No,
you
here
can
we
still
go.
get sued for not following
Yeah,
the rules.
I understand what you're saying, but I
Someone
don't.
that gets COVID on that flight says, I got it from the guy with the mask on, with the
And now the
plastic
airline gets
mask on.
sued.
It never happened. It's so unreasonable.
No,
Why
see,
not? He didn't follow the rule. His own rule. He didn't follow his own rule. Let me show you the rule.
So
Judge, here's the
so
rule.
now this guy sues anyway because he's thrown out for
no, I don't think he has any grounds.
He doesn't.
I
Didn't follow
think
the
your
rule.
basis is wrong. I think your basis is wrong. There were written rules, and he was non-compliant.
Yep.
And I think on a technical basis, the flight attendant's desire to comply, even if strictly, is not the problem. I don't agree with it, but I don't think that's the problem.
Yeah.
The problem I have is all these psycho. I mean, I would hope clearly we're all Biden voters. Because if
Wow.
if those were
That's a
if
straw
any-
man
no,
argument.
none of
No, let me
those
just-
none of those people voted for Trump, and had they voted for Trump, they'd have been sitting down. They'd have been saying, "Leave him alone."
I'm going to show you a picture. This should be guilty or not guilty. I'm going to
Okay.
show you a picture.
We just did.
Hold up, I'll zoom in.
My son Keegan
Yeah.
flew out to L.A.
You gonna show me a picture or not?
I'm going to in a second. I just want to set it up.
He's setting
He,
Setting it up. He's always
he
setting
flew
it
out
up.
to L.A.
20-minute setup.
21 minute setup.
He flew out
The
to
universe
LA.
is not
he flew
infinite.
out to LA to visit my other
It
daughter,
ends.
my daughter, and there. And he gets on the plane, and he sends me a picture of the person sitting next to him is so concerned about COVID on the plane in a full hazmat.
Oh, nice.
Full hazmat.
You could have just showed
Did
me
not
the
vote
picture.
for Trump. That
you
guy
could have
did
just
not
shown
vote
us
for
the
Trump.
picture. It would have been a lot better. Because now we're expecting full
Now we're
hazmat
like
suit.
something. Yeah. See.
You took the joy out of it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Over-explained
Thanks
it
for
again.
the spoiler.
He's always explaining the joke before
Again,
he tells
I'm
the
just gonna
joke.
say the two words
You're
I'm saying
gonna
was,
laugh.
Fuck y'all.
Show us your tattoo, by the way. This is why we were started all a little late.
In a moment.
This guy was over here being Billy Badass, a.k.a. Dick Myers.
Tick my.
Or do we want to go with, wait, what's the other one for Richard? Bill? Yeah, Bill Myers.
All right. So
Just
you wanna
effing
focus?
shoot me.
You didn't
He
even
wants
show me
to
the
see.
picture.
Can I get it on camera?
Yeah, hold up.
No,
You
my
gotta-
tattoo.
Yeah, there you go. Here, let me do this. Oh, wow, that's classic. And he did the sneaky picture.
Yeah, right. He was like,
What a jerk. What a jerk. That's
My
right.
son's not a
the
jerk.
plane for violating her privacy.
My son's not a jerk.
Okay,
Once
yo.
again, fuck y'all.
Let's see the tattoo. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, look at that. The lady, the justice lady.
Who does she look like to you? Quick, look at her. Who does she look like to you?
I don't know,
He
but
said Pocahontas.
I
said
do
She
her.
looks like Pocahontas.
Turn it that way. Other way, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
A little glare. I think
That's
she looks
such
like
a lawyer
Pocahontas.
tattoo. He's
pretty
like,
nice, though,
I'm gonna put it in my forearm so when I'm at the bar, everybody knows I'm a lawyer.
I'll be wearing long sleeves though.
No, you won't. You better not.
It's not like when you're wearing like wife beaters.
Well, you got to do something on the other arm. Get a whole sleeve.
I have
You're
more
gonna get a
territory
sleeve?
here. One more.
Oh, boy.
I'm thinking about
But you have two on that
Jason's
arm.
8
Why did
children.
You gonna do what?
Jason's 8
he
children.
wants me to put all my kids on my chest
On
and on
his-
my back? I said
You
I did
could.
not have big feet
He doesn't
as
have enough
children.
room.
I just have little children. They don't have any hair on their face.
No,
Well,
but
some
this
of
is
them
pretty
don't.
nice.
Yeah.
I think that's. a pretty good
It's
job.
actually really, really very intricate.
Yeah, I like it.
And
Are you gonna get it colored in?
Unlikely.
Why not?
Because I had the color on this one, and it reacted to my skin, like all the color.
Okay.
So I might have. I'm afraid that I'm having a reaction to the dye.
Yeah, it's
The
possible.
black ink isn't affecting me, but
Yeah.
but it's still not
Looks
bad.
good.
It's just
Look like a sailor.
It changed, like it faded a little bit. And
Oh, that's what it does. Yeah.
no,
it
no,
fits.
but it faded far more than it ordinarily does.
Yeah.
Because this was almost like a bright green, and it because
Yeah. We'll talk about it.
it's been a problem, and I'm not happy with it. But the funny thing is, I've had people like, "Oh, that's so cool." I'm like, "You don't know what it originally looked like."
Yeah. That's how it
But-
goes.
Yeah. Jason, you and I, we got to do a couple of shots one night, and you got to get a tat.
No tats. There will be
yeah.
no tats.
Why not?
Ooh, no, not interested.
What's
don't
wrong?
like pain. Same
many
reason
do
why I
you
don't have an
have now?
earring.
That's why you have the drinks.
How many do you have, sir?
I just got one. I'm gonna get some more eventually.
Yeah, where's yours?
I got it's the typical 18-year-old. I'm allowed to get a tattoo. Northeast Ohio, name in Old English letters on your shoulder. Yeah. Northeast Ohio guys get it. They
I
know
thought it
what
would
I'm
be
talking
you holding LeBron's,
No, he wasn't.
Oh,
he
no
wasn't
bromance.
playing. He wasn't playing at the time.
There was no bromance at the time.
No, there was no LeBron at the time. He was probably in junior high.
But now,
But he was probably awesome even then, though.
Probably.
You should just put like right under your chest, property of LeBron.
I'm gonna get
right
Flohio. I'm gonna get the Flohio logo
Shit on that.
done
Oh, yeah.
somewhere. Probably on my back, big, massive Flohio.
So then when you
tattoo.
change the name to like Kahio,
But it'll be detailed. Like in the States, I want to have little palm trees and
So when you develop that,
snow.
because that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But do you want to make any tweaks to that design?
The trademark is it has to start with that. It has to start with Florida. Has to end with the state of Ohio. So
Right.
I can change the font in the middle. I could add stuff to the states. So, but the actual trademark.
But that is very
Florida,
cool.
yeah.
Who developed that for you in the first place?
Me. Yep.
Sorry, I asked a stupid question. Man.
Yep. I made that. It looks nice. But yeah, I want to get it updated. Like I said, I want to get more detail. Maybe in Ohio, like put a little tiny roller coaster where Cedar Point is.
Yeah.
Put a Buckeye where Columbus is. You know, Florida, Miami, you could put some palm trees down there. Tampa, you know.
Flare it up a little.
Make it the state's big enough to where you can have detail.
I have an idea what would look really cool, but I'm not going to say it on the air because
Yeah.
I don't think you.
People would take it. People steal ideas here.
I'm not going to. I'm not giving you an idea. I
They
will
listen
give
to
you
the
an idea,
station.
but I won't say it on the air.
Yeah, it'd be perfect.
All right, so we are.
Oh
the
wait,
Whiskey
let me put your
Rebellion.
guys' cards up real
Yes,
quick.
please
Hold
do.
on. Okay, boom.
Wow, that was a good one. We got intense. We talked about aliens and God.
Yep. And got nowhere.
And masks.
Is there any difference?
No, there isn't. We're all the same.
It's all part of that universal energy.
It's all the same energy, bro. At the end of the day.
Yep. I mean, just depends on what
All right,
temperature you like. I
I'm
like 72.
Richard Myers of the Myers Firm, PA. Now, I gotta get you my new business card.
Let's
man.
do it.
I don't have it.
This reminds me of that scene from American Psycho where they all pull out their business cards. Have you ever seen American Psycho? Oh my God. You have to watch
All right,
American Psycho.
all right.
It's incredible.
So if I do on YouTube, American Psycho and business cards,
It's
it'll
going to
come
show
right
up.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
it'll show up.
All right,
It's a
I'm
great
Richard
scene.
Myers of the Myers from PA. My practice is mostly devoted to high conflict divorces. I do some employment law. You can contact me at 813-985-6550 or 813-477-2623 or rmyers@myersfirm.com, MEYERS, everywhere. Jason.
Jason Ricardo, law firm of Ricardo and Waslick. We protect your money and your reputation from debt collection and foreclosure. You can see our videos on YouTube. Ricardo and Waslick is the name of the YouTube channel, and you can email me at jason@ricardolaw.com, and you can call us at 352-567-3173. Have a great week.
Shoot jacket!
All right, let's hear our exit song.
Oh, well, you know, it's going to be the same one as the first one. Ah! We out of here.
I think it's crazy I'm the one who they labeled as controversial, and Cardi B is the role model for 12-year-old girls. There's rappers pushing Xanax at the top of the billboard, but if I mention race in a song, I'm scared I'll get killed for it. It's backwards, it's getting exponentially dumb. It's more difficult to get a job than purchase a gun. Eminem used to gay bash and murder his mom, and now he doesn't want fans if they voted for Trump. We're ashamed to be American. You should probably love it, cause you have the right to hate it and not get stoned to death in public. As children we were taught how to walk and talk, but the system wants adults to sit down and shut up. Cancel culture runs the world now, the planet went crazy. Label everything we say as homophobic or racist. If you're white, then you're privileged, guilty by association. All our childhood heroes got Me Too'd or they're rapists. They never freed the slaves. They realized that they don't need to change. They gave us tiny screens, we think we free cause we can't see the cage. They knew that race war would be the game they need to play. For people to big teams, they use the media to feed the flame.